Day 17, channeling from Source. Welcome to this day. Welcome the whole of you. Welcome the whole of your planet, the whole of this universe. Opening to that expanded awareness we have spoken about. Breathing. Breathing in and out. Through you, as you, beyond you. You are the universe, feeling yourself as an individualized expression of Source who can connect themselves to the whole. You choose. What about bringing the oneness that you are into this body as coherence? How do I do that? You might wonder. You just pause, take a moment, breathe, and remind yourself that when you take life as a ceremony, when you make your life a ceremony, you bring the sacred into your life. You then expand your awareness to what is beyond you. That's what sacred really means in a practice. Sacred is what is of Source, what is of a higher dimension, a higher power, what is beyond states, what is timeless, eternal. And as we've explained before, you can be the wave, the quantum field, and you can choose to be the individualized self. When you merge this two, you get miracles. You get a coherence that you do not usually experience in a body. When the body hasn't been trained, when the mind hasn't been trained, and by training for the mind, we mean aligned, tuned, fine-tuned. These practices are all the practices called meditation, mindfulness, conscious breathing, yoga, all the various ceremonies, all the events directed at making your life sacred. So the common denominators are always finding that gap in between the thoughts, which is really the access to the multidimensionality of who you are, the wave aspects of who you are, in between the particle of existence, in between the self-individualization, is the whole, the invisible, the ether, where everything is born from. So as you manage to slow down, as you manage to get your brain and your body through the breath, through the beating of the heart, through the waves of the brain waves, as they harmonize and synchronize what you call brain coherence, heart coherence, by using the breath, by focusing. Heart coherence, where you focus your breathing and imagine what is heart coherence. As studied by the Heart Maths Institute, that many people are fascinated by in the work they do, as to how the heart has an effect on the body of the person, obviously, but how it affects the environment by the entanglement principle of harmonizing the field around, and how a field of a certain number of people will have an effect on the planet. And how the planet's field has an effect on the universe is what we want to add, because as you are one, everything is interconnected in the same way that all the systems in your body are connected. The planets in your galaxy are connected. So, heart coherence is defined as the harmonizing, synchronizing of what is measurable by science, your heart waves, your brain waves, the beating of the heart, the blood pressure. When all of these harmonize, it creates a coherence, a at one-ment attunement. You become at one with yourself. There's a feeling of wholeness where all the systems entangle, all the systems work together, they collaborate, they co-create. And this is the magic of the universe. This is the order that you find in the middle of the law of creation and the law of change. Everything changes, it is a constant. But in the cosmos, in the universe, there is a tendency for order. And that order is that synchronization, that harmonizing. And as you recreate it in your body, you actually go back to what we called yesterday home sweet home, that state of co-creation at one moment that certain religions have called being one. And as you start feeling it in your body and you move into the emotions that come with it, allow these emotions to literally be liberated from this coherence. The emotions that you feel are elevated emotions. In that state, even if you tried, you cannot feel hate. You cannot feel fear. You cannot feel blame or shame. It is just not possible, because your vibration, your frequency is in tune with the universe, is in tune with the higher emotions. And they're not conditional, meaning they do not come from something outside of yourself, an event, a circumstance, an object, a promotion, money. They are absolutely coming from within you, from that connection to the aspects of you whom we call source. For you are source. It is you expanding into all or part of the magnificence of who you are, and fully opening to the emotions that are there, waiting for you. Really, they are not even emotions as it would be defined by your language. they would be called states of being. The state of compassion, the state of gratitude, the state of bliss and ecstasy, which can never be conditional. Nothing from outside of you can lead you to experience bliss and ecstasy. For bliss and ecstasy are the merging of who you are in the individualized expression of self with the whole. That's what it is. It can never be the result of something coming from this dimension, this planet, outside of you. The highest states are always in the merging of your body, small b, with the bigger body of who you are and the expanded version of you. That's where you lose sense of self and you experience a joy which is beyond words, a state of being that nobody can explain with words because it is not something that is usually experienced in the density of the planet. It is beyond time and space. It is truly an experience that you have no idea if it was short or long, but yet it feels like an eternity because time stopped. Nadej experienced one of these moments when she was on a hill picking some elderflowers. As she relates in her book, she went into that time in between the gaps of existence and she realized that past, present, future were all there together, or they didn't exist as separate. She really felt the sense of these labels that you use to describe yourself were completely irrelevant. And as soon as her brain, logical brain, came back into action and said, oh, it looks like, oh, this is the present moment that everybody's talking about. She was literally moved back into her body. And sadly, she prayed, she asked, she so wanted to go back there, but she was out of it because she came back into the body, used the brain. It was a glimpse for her. It still is an experience she can go back to in her mind and feel as if she had experienced it a few days ago. It was so out of this world, amazing, as she called it. And for days, she felt the after effects of that buzz, that bliss buzz running through her veins, something that she couldn't explain with words. The ineffable had happened. And that is available to all of you. But it is not something that everybody is necessarily ready to access. People want to live their life. And the wise souls on this earth respect that, understand that. You all have a mission. And for some of you, just like a fruit, you are ripe. You are ready to experience these states of ecstasy in the body. And some just want to enjoy the material world. And that's good, even though we don't want to bring any judgment in using the good or bad. We want to make sure that you realize that there's no better or wrong. For some, the spiritual path of deep inquiry and mastery is their quest. For others, they just want to enjoy this world and make the most of it. And it's absolutely fine. There's no better or worse. This is something that Nadesh couldn't understand. She was annoyed when, in the writing of her book, we forever brought her back to this, telling her that solving the mystery of the universe was not the point in this lifetime for her. She is on this planet, in this body, at this time, in this space, for a reason, to make the most of this experience in a body, not in the spiritual spheres of escapism. For like a lot of you listening to this, your mission is to bring this knowledge in the body, to experience it in the body. Bring down that coherence in your body. Yes, realize that you can merge with your capital B body and feel that sense of expansion and bliss and ecstasy, but bring it, stay in this body, stay in this lifetime, and bring it through everything you do, your art, your creations, your writing, even at work. Bring that frequency and it will ooze out of you. You will shine it. There will be something magnetic about you. And this is the way you can share it through the invisible worlds to your peers, to your colleagues, to the one you love. There is no right or wrong. But we can assume that if you're listening to this, you are definitely on the path of mastery and merging with the higher aspects of you. Feeling your multidimensionality will expand you into the territory of who you are. And that territory is vast, very, very vast. You will enrich your life in ways you can't even imagine. And life on this planet will become fun. It will become enjoyable. It will become something that you can assess with wisdom, with deep reverence, with devotion. And yet, you will be tested because you will lose loved ones. Some of your loved one might go through disease, or you might even. There will be tests in your life. There will be moments which will be difficult. But that wisdom, that reverence, that devotion will allow you to navigate these moments with more calmness, with more maturity, and you will find a way. Dear ones, we're going to stop there for today. You are doing so well. We applaud you for your work. And we love you beyond words, beyond worlds. Namaste.